This is TWiT.
New York State is exploring the possibility of introducing legislation to ban the use of taxpayer funds for paying ransoms, ransomware ransoms.
Interesting.
Yeah. The state of New York is exploring whether outlawing the payment of ransomware ransoms might make the problem go away, because the bad guys will know nobody in New York by law is able to pay. You know, I'm not hopeful that that strategy is going to work. 2 legislative bills have been proposed that would require government agencies to tell ransomware attackers they cannot pay. The first bill, S 7246, was proposed by Senator Phil Boyle on the 14th of January, obviously, exactly 2 weeks ago today. If it were enacted into law, it would, for small cities and towns with populations under 1 million people, restrict the paying of attackers with taxpayer money. If it were passed, it would set up a $5 million fund to help overhaul the IT infrastructures of such small towns. But, you know, $5 million, that would that would not go very far, unfortunately, under, you know, the terms of how much that IT stuff costs these days. So, okay. The second bill, S 7289, introduced by Senator David Carlucci 2 days later on the 16th of January, would prohibit government agencies from paying ransom in the event of a cyber attack against their critical infrastructures. At this point, the bills are both under discussion in committee, and it's unclear which, if either, of the bills would make it to a vote in the state Senate. And of course, we talked about last summer how in June of 2019, that U.S. Conference of Mayors passed a non-binding resolution to, you know, sort of formally say, we don't want municipal systems to be put back online as a consequence of paying ransom. We want you to say no. But of course, their resolution was not binding. It was just like, okay, it sort of gave yeah, exactly. Maybe it gave mayors some cover to say, well, we don't want to pay, and the U.S. Conference of Mayors is behind us on this. But of course, it lacked any legal teeth. So this New York legislation would be the first state to move in that direction, to like formally say, you know, it's against the law for a state agency, a state municipality, to pay a ransom. So anyway, we'll see what happens. That second bill, S 7289, referred to the attack in Albany, New York last month. Actually, it was on Christmas Day, which paralyzed the Albany International Airport. At that time, the attackers demanded a ransom in exchange for the return of the data and the restoration of the airport's systems. Because they were desperate, they paid a ransom. That they're claiming, although the amount was not disclosed, that it was less than 6 figures. So anyway, in response, the legislation says in the bill, we don't want to keep rewarding these crooks for these attacks. They said when municipal corporations and government agencies comply with these ransoms, they incentivize cyber attackers looking to make a quick buck. Prohibiting these entities from complying with ransom requests will remove this incentive and safeguard taxpayer dollars.
You know where they would be even more effective is if they also help these agencies not get bit in the first place.
Yeah.
Establish some standards. Get some IT money in there.
Yeah. Anyway,
one thing to say don't pay. Help them not have to pay. Right?
Yeah. And you know, Leo, in every case, the municipality that gets attacked says, Well,
we don't have any choice.
Yes, give us the money.
Yeah.
We don't have a budget that allows us to do, because, in every case, they have an IT infrastructure which is old and creaky. It's like it's barely working, that everybody's overworked and underpaid, and it's like, we'd love to be like ransomware proof, but to do that, we've asked our IT people, what would it cost? And they quote something which we can't pay. So, yikes. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think this is going to work, but we'll find out.